Hey, Dr. C here. I want to make you aware of my latest online course or my class that I'm going to be presenting called Anger Games. Now, I want you to think about any episodes that you've had when you've clashed with the narcissist, some sort of conflict. These are individuals who, when that shows up, they're not going to manage it well. Inevitably, they have to have a sense of control or dominance over you, and they're not at all bashful about using manipulative tactics. And so whenever there's conflict and strain and tension, anger is going to be their emotion that they're going to show right up front, and it can come out in very manipulative kind of ways. They'll play their psychological games, and it's just baked into who they are. And unfortunately, they have a wide array of behaviors that they'll use as they play those games with you. They can go into their openly aggressive anger. They can be passive aggressive. They can go into blame shifting, use a lot of revisionist history, et cetera, et cetera. And you're not going to be able to change who they are, but we can make some difference in your participation by examining what might be going on inside of you. Now, in the Anger Games course, I'm going to begin by helping you discern healthy from unhealthy anger. And yes, there is a healthy form of anger. Narcissists don't catch on to that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn our focus on to where that narcissist is coming from when they go into their unhealthy place. What are some of the most common games that they like to play? And then specifically, we're going to go behind the scenes and ask, why do they do the things that they do? What's pushing and what's driving them? The more objectivity you have with respect to what you're dealing with, and you're not going to get sucked into the subjectivity. We are going to identify how they'll inadvertently pull you into their games. But then I'm also going to want to discuss with you all sorts of ways that you can develop what I call an inside-out way of responding to who they are. When I say inside out, you're not going to change them, but you can make some serious adjustments about who you are in the way that you think and how you prioritize and how you manage yourself with these individuals. Does that sound pretty good? Now, I've organized the course in 5 modules or categories, and each one identifying a specific feature. And then inside each of the 5 modules are going to be 5 or 6 teaching lessons. Each lesson is going to be accompanied by a video that's going to be about 10 to 12 minutes each. And then along with each video, there are going to be several pages of written documentation and handouts that correspond with the videos. And so it's going to be very thorough and very well organized. And then at the end of each lesson, we're going to have what I call the personal reflections questions. And that's where you're going to pause and take stock of who you are relative to what's being taught. And frankly, those personal reflections questions are going to be the thing that's going to make it most therapeutic for you. Now, keep in mind, I was a therapist before I retired from my practice for 40 years in the Dallas, Texas area, and I loved working with my patients. It just kept me stimulated. I didn't consider it work. I considered it a calling, and I still have the therapist heart, of course, as I go into this course with you. And the goal is healing. The goal is insight and awareness so that you can be your best version of yourself. Now, as to the cost of the course, we've actually scoured the internet and have picked up on the spectrum of cost with courses like this, and we've stayed on the low end of the spectrum. If you can think of the cost of perhaps 2 therapy sessions, that's what we're looking at here, and that's pretty good for 27 lessons and all that goes with it, the handouts, etc. So I hope that you'll find that to be approachable. Now, just know that when you allow me to be on your journey of growth and healing, I consider it to be a privilege. You can tell most about an individual's personal maturity and or lack of by watching how they manage conflict and how they handle their anger and how they understand all the many dimensions that go into it. I'm hoping you can be at the top of your game when you're dealing with these individuals, because their games are not very good. But I'm hoping that you can decide, I'm going to be someone who's going to see through it. I'm going to be my best version of myself. I want to live with dignity, respect, and civility. So go to the link that we have provided for you. There's going to be a landing page that will take you to more information about the course, and it'll explain to you how you can register. I look forward to being a part of your growth journey.